live now. And
hey guys, welcome on in. Hello and welcome.
hello and welcome.
You totally messed him up.
Hello. We have Elder. He's on, I don't know what kind of energy.
It's like a candy bar. What the hell is it?
Candy bar? Dude, I don't know what they put in that candy bar.
A lot of caffeine.
Just right before this.
What the hell did I do with the damn wrapper?
Don't even worry about it. We're not advertising for it. It's fine. Hey guys, we're
want to let them know.
If you need to lick that wrapper, they put something in it. Put it down.
Oh, God. No,
right, so tonight,
I can't put it down. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
pause. No apologizing. You shut the fuck up.
Welcome.
Hello and welcome.
Go Pearl Jam on us.
So, guys, we're going to be talking about everything 3.23. Last week, Thursday and Friday, CIG decided to drop us a ton of info. They just info dumped everything from 3.23 between Inside Star Citizen and what else was the other one? Star Citizen Live.
Star Citizen Live, yeah.
That was tough to watch. I fell asleep the first time and then finally watched it, but it was just like, oh my God.
That's actually
it was boring to watch.
That's actually how. Yeah, that's.
It wasn't so bad. Honestly, it wasn't even so bad because I've seen them do like the Star Citizen Live or whatever. And they'll drop like an hour and 40-minute video, and they're like, you got like 4 guys just sitting around talking about like what their job is and how they like doing their job or something. I don't really enjoy that all that much. Nothing wrong with it or anything, but you know.
But it's the whole, trying to keep focused on that is tough. I don't know why. ADHD brain. That's all it is.
Yeah, I was at the gym, and watching, so I had no problem.
He's been flexing because he's been working out lately, and he's just, go give us a flex really quick while you're at it, Alder.
No, I'm good.
Now he's embarrassed.
It's just embarrassed the shit out of myself.
Like camera a second ago. But with that being said, we're going to move on to the first topic. If you're ready, Elder. Are you going to start singing to us again, or are you good?
I could sing. No. Wait, hold on. Are we? Do you want me to jump into the media thing? You're going to have to help direct me. Do a little media thing
with the EVA that they introduced with Inside Star Citizen. This was a fun segment to watch.
So
because everything on it.
I want to give props, by the way, to the guy way up there. By the way, he made all these tabs and he looked badass. I think so. Props to him. Look at that. Look at it. This. All right, I'm done. All right. Go ahead.
All right, we're gonna watch
to another ship from your ship to an abandoned space station. You can fly inside ships and space stations without gravity now, without fear of bashing your head and your legs all over the place. It really makes it a much more smooth and easy to use system. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's just more fun. I enjoy just flying in and out of test levels between ships, etc. With the old system, it's a bit slow and lackluster. With this, I feel like I'm a superhero while I'm going.
Elder, do you have an action figure to demonstrate the new EVA for us?
I don't.
Scuba Steve.
I wish
we talked about
the video. The video of the guy showing with the action figure. Where's that part?
Where's it? We talked about this before.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I DM'd you today, and you were supposed to bring one. So
yeah.
Okay, well,
going around in space.
Talent show, bro.
There it is.
So yeah, the new EVA feature. As you guys see it today, it's hopefully going to look even better once it gets into your hands. And we're really excited to see what you guys think of it.
This is sick, honestly.
Who's ready to do the Superman?
Let's talk about.
Okay, pause for a second.
I mean, that
where they showed. It was a Twitter post. I think it was actually Greasy Khaleesi posted this thing where there was it showed a weapons rack, and on each of the weapons it had F on every item listed. It wasn't just like a singular one. It was just F on all of the items. I'll see if I can find that later, but it was hilarious. Anyways, we can get back into this. Don't worry about it. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it was better when it was piss pit.
It used to be piss pit?
Yeah. Player interaction. Yeah.
So let's talk about the new pipe piss.
Gotta stop saying.
I was too late to change it. I like to say PIS because
He's so disappointed.
sounds better.
I think piss is good. I mean, wait.
Try to avoid HR complaints.
So we had
So the burning question is, what is pie piss?
What is pie piss?
Are we watching this or are we watching something else?
No, I don't think we're necessarily watching this. Well, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm waiting for R. Kelly to jump across the screen or something. All right.
I found a Gundam model that I put together recently. We could go like this and go.
No, hold on. 17 digits. Yes, that's not what they said. It's pi.
Piss pie. Piss pie, right? Piss pie.
Pice.
Yeah, where are you getting piss from? Come on, man.
That's inappropriate, sir. No, but all right. So I mean, just kind of jumping on it though. Honestly, the whole EVA thing, I think we're all looking forward to. But I don't think that's going to have much of an effect on like PvP or anything, right? I mean, honestly, how could it? Piss pie.
I completely disagree.
Yeah, completely disagree. Imagine soft deathing a ship. You're going into like what, a Corsair, even that small narrow, passage in like say the what is it, the reclaimer, the freaking elevators on that thing. Trying to go through that in EVA, it's going to be way easier because you're going from all the way down, and you can just jump in. But I think it's going to be tougher to actually
What, Rudy?
He just comes in and just stalls everything.
Dude, no. All right, I'm listening. though. No, I didn't even think of that because I'm over here thinking in terms of piloting, right? And with master modes coming, I don't know if you're looking forward to it. When master modes coming, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a FPS shooter instead.
I'm curious to see what like breaching a ship would be like in 0G or even certain locations like SBK. When you're EVAing over to the platforms, it's much faster. You just can't pick off a person that's just right there. It's going to be a lot more difficult.
Okay, but
right?
Weren't they saying that the push-pull system is not going to be there yet? Right? But this iteration of EVA, I think we could probably watch it, but this iteration of EVA isn't gonna, like, it's not gonna be where you keep going in a specific direction yet, but the movement's gonna be. I'm pretty sure.
It's the animation.
I'm pretty sure.
Do you want to go back?
I don't know where they actually specifically say it, but I think I remember that push-pull isn't actually going to be active yet. Push-pull is coming soon. Yeah, see?
It is. I think you're right, yeah.
Undead Ranger. But yes, the EVA will be there. So the EVA is going to be, I think, the way the body is, like in this screen right here, where you'll be able to move like that. Where
between
you guys
ships, etc. With the old system,
I think this is
a
what
bit
we're
slow and lackluster. With this, I feel like I'm a superhero while I'm going around in space.
Fly.
Wait.
As opposed to...
I love it.
I just wanted to get that one more time in there. But I think it's actually what we're going to get this time. Push-pull is coming with piss pie.
Piss pie. Push-pull is coming with piss. This is great.
There's too many PPs flying around here, okay?
Working EVA or push-pull. Okay, that makes sense. So that actually makes sense because
they want to make the fuel,
implemented the fuel system in the actual flight suits. So
so maybe too late. Do you know this? I don't know if you know this, but is it going to be where, okay, there's no push-pull system. Does that mean that you have to hold W key to keep moving forward or whatever? Or will you be able to hit it and it will continue in that direction? But
that's later.
That's later on.
So if you're talking like decoupled and coupled, right now we're going to be coupled until they do the whole fuel thing.
Yep.
Oh, that kind of sticks out. That would be nice if you could, like, the decoupled and EVA will work. Oh, it will.
Because, I mean, it makes...
Who is this guy? I like him.
But it makes sense because if you're going to have finite amounts of fuel, then you want to have the option to be able to coast in whatever direction you were going.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So that's what it is, though, is that... Wait a minute. So how is it... So I'm confused. What is push-pull, then?
Push
it's being able to push off of stuff, right?
and then pushing off from it using.
So
that
right
force.
now it's just going to be a consistent. You have the ability to use your EVA infinitely, but you're not going to be able to push off things. But if you use your EVA, it's going to push you in that direction, and you'll continue in that direction. They won't push pull to grab.
To translate it in a way you would understand, you ever see those really big like sharks and fish, and then you have the really tiny little fish that are really close to them? Yeah, that's what you're still going to do. You're not going to be attached or touch it, but you're going to be floating right next to it the whole time.
What? That was like the worst.
Best I could help you with, Elder.
What you want on about? Is this National Geographic? Or are we on a different show?
Mag gloves. Oh, that would be pretty sick.
That's what I always picture.
Is like boots, even mag boots, being able to like stick down to a target and actually I like stuff like that.
But I thought that's how they were gonna like describe it, is that we have mag boots and gloves, and that's how you're able to do everything you're doing.
Can we put it to the part where he's moving along with his hands out? Because I think they bring it up, right?
They do.
Yeah, I'm
shortly.
on a different.
Look at that.
Yep. Perfect, right there.
So where was it that we?
I think it's a little further along.
If you want, I can do background.
All right, let's talk about.
So yeah, it's a new EVA feature.
Oh, maybe it's a
like
little
all
bit
over the place.
towards the beginning.
Press another input or the space.
Here we go.
And you fly. If you release the button, you keep flying. While you still can rotate and look around.
Yeah, we've allowed it so you can turn.
The features we're going to be bringing out at some point later soon.
That's sick.
We've got zero G traversal,
cool, yeah.
and that's you attaching to a surface. In the previous system,
wait, what did you just say?
Again,
what did you
because
just say?
the character was upright the entire time, it just wouldn't have.
Listen.
Arrow keys.
The features we're going to be bringing out at some point later soon. We've got zero G traversal, and that's you attaching to a surface.
Oh, okay.
In the previous system, again, because the character was upright the entire time, it just wouldn't have gelled well with that feature. You're effectively in prone, but attached to a surface, and you're moving along that surface or gliding along it if you sprint. That just transitions really nicely from the pose we have for zero G traversal to the EVA pose.
That's cool.
It's almost exactly the same. It's also very similar to prone. So, for example, if you were in an event and all of a sudden the gravity went out, you could run along it in zero G traversal or move around it in EVA without changing what your body's doing, which just means that it's a far more seamless experience. There's a much less chance of anything going wrong as a result of that as well.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's pretty sick.
We've also
I mean, either way,
the EVA fuel.
So he's not indicating that you have special gloves or anything like that, but he's just basically saying that you're gonna attach to the surface so you can move like that. Well, go ahead.
I'm using my
please.
imagination, man.
I was wondering what it would look like if, say, the target or the ship that you were trying to attach to was in movement. Maybe you don't have that option necessarily.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder. I mean, but right now it would be all speculation at this point, right? Because they really didn't specify.
We haven't seen any kind of like implementation of this system yet, so we're gonna have to wait until at least 3.23 until they tease more.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it would be sick though.
So going back to like the whole PvP aspect of this, I think it's going to be really okay. Who's not wanting to be the guy that was sliding across the floor, firing his gun, at the bad guys? Like that's what you're going to look and feel like going through space. Whether it's with your sniper rifle, your LMG, things like that. When you're trying to,
I don't know. When I think about sliding across the floor, it feels like a ¡90s action movie. But please,
hey, don't you knock my '90s action?
Well, it does kind of feel like a '90s action film, or like Naked Gun, where he's like doing moles all over the place, right? But with that being said, I'm actually more excited for the fact that we have a consistent system with EVA. So if, say, someone gets soft death, they're not completely disoriented trying to get out of their seat. We're going to have a system in place where they're getting out and they're able to actually defend and figure out like what angle they can hold the door from, Whereas right now it doesn't feel very natural. You're all over the place. You're running into like parts of the paneling and everything else, right? So I'm super excited for the defensive side of this too, and just kind of the gameplay that opens up.
You can't run a poll. Oh, maybe that's something we can activate in the future. We're still developing this whole podcast thing though. So thanks for mentioning that.
It's called we're not affiliate yet. I don't think we can do it. Maybe we can.
Oh, is that why? So
that's why.
I would say though, if you guys jumped into the Grim 42 Discord, where I'm gonna add a section more specifically for Griffith's Pub podcast, And like any suggestions, stuff like that, we definitely want to hear them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll throw in the link. But what you saying? I'm sorry. Continue, please. I can't. Oh, I can do it over. Itachi, I think, is Itchy, aren't you?
He's affiliate. That's
he's affiliate. Yeah.
This channel's not affiliated yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're just trying to make sure we get all this together. I mean, look at this. It's the beautiful panels. It looks great.
No, you're beautiful.
I need the ability to just like all of a sudden put us to like we're having technical difficulty screen, and then I just go over to yours and just strangle you.
He's calling you out.
Good work on that. All right, so that's future stream ability.
So I think we move on to the next section that you were discussing about. Was that PIS that they were discussing or something else? Let me double check what you had highlighted that as. Yes, PIS. Let's move on to that section because that specifically talks about those systems in play.
I guess let me know.
Yeah, there was one before we released it.
If, for example, you're out mining gems after blowing up rocks with your multi-tool, you might want to pick the gem up and look at it. Or you might want to just store it directly into your backpack. You now have the option to customize and say, want to look down at that piece of gem?
Quick pause. This is actually where I was seeing like the Fs all over the screen, and that's where
show me the prompt. It's always going to show store, or it's always going to show carry or inspect. It's up to you, and you can change that on the fly, and it'll remember it, and it just allows you to customize your own experience.
Now the player doesn't have to go to interaction mode to make a selection. It can just simply tap to trigger the behavior.
The new system is entirely data-driven, so from our perspective, it makes it really easy to customize from a designer's point of view. And again, because we've set up that data, you can then customize it yourself.
It allows you to customize the primary and the secondary interaction. So you can change just
all over the entire like thing.
F while looking at something.
Yeah. Oh man, hold on.
If the player changes the default item.
That's a good point, man. The wheel should work with the wheel should work with Tobii Eye Tracker. I think that would be that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Shit, I'm down. I'd be down for that, man. I think it would probably.
I would love to see Tobii implementation on that as someone that personally uses it. It's a great system. You know?
Maybe. I guess it depends, but I guess the thing is with the wheel is that it's gonna be where it stays on your last used option, and it will remain there unless you change it. I can imagine how once we're familiar with like where on the wheel what does what, because it's always going to be consistent. It'll probably be a really quick system anyway. I would think, hopefully.
There was a recent discussion about some of the new things in like 3.23, like this making Star Citizen less hardcore. I don't know if it was necessarily directed at the new interaction system, but I think it was the press F to open, and someone had like there was a door panel. This is Twitter post. Don't worry about it. So there was a door panel, and it showed F over the door to like open the door. It was just kind of redundant stuff. But
what do you mean as far as like make it less hardcore though?
No, I don't know. Like someone had mentioned that some of this gameplay feels like it makes it less casual. I'm trying to figure out like what exactly it is. I feel like Master Modes does 100%, but stuff like this, I think this is a quality of life improvement.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it was more directed at the crosshairs. That's what it was. The crosshair systems that they're introducing.
Oh.
Feel a little bit more arcadey as opposed to more, like simulation, which I'm kind of against personally as well. So I kind of
It does feel like they've been moving away from the simulation aspect of it, honestly.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I think it feels like that and everything.
More of a general audience as opposed to, very niche, like player base, right? To some degree.
Yeah.
We see it with like the flight model, we see it with FPS, we see it with quite a few things.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll jump back over there.
Yep.
On that item, the
selection
will be saved across all the items that match that state and the item category.
But we all know how it is when they first put something in the game.
Up on always you want, especially when it comes to interaction. So if you want to cuddle a plushie, you can set that to be your default inspect. If you want to be picking up golden lemons and storing them directly whilst you're harvesting, you can set store to be your default, and then that's the way it'll stay. If you want to equip
Yeah, it'll be a
ammo as soon as
preset.
you
So
come
if you
across
press
it
F
to your
real
suit,
quick, it's always going
you
to
can
be
set
that
that as your
preset.
default item action.
Yeah.
So
I like
it's
that system.
something that,
actually
with a little
makes
bit of interaction from yourself, means that you can customize and tweak your own play
So,
experience and really rough out the edges
Towards some rather than
in terms of
Yeah.
your minute-to-minute gameplay and how you interact with things.
Just so you know, it's hard to hear you over the video.
The video? Oh, sorry. Is that
Yeah.
better now, or?
You probably can you
Yeah,
turn
it's
up your
better.
mic separately from the video?
I can. Yeah, 1 second. Let me do that really quick.
All right, the wheel being more fluid. Hold on, let me see what this is.
He normally controls.
Right,
yeah, it's good.
He
Justin,
normally
Justin,
controls
1, 2,
his
3.
audio device with his toes, so he has to lean down there and get it just right for you guys. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's going on. I wonder if I can on my. Oh, it's up all the way. Okay, never mind. So look at. All right, so what the heck? I just want to read this real quick. The wheel being more fluid, in my opinion, drives it towards sim rather than away, since you don't take 10 seconds to normally choose. Yeah, but you know, the quick interaction F was always defaulted to something. Like, you could still do that now, but I agree, right? It's not like you're sitting there thinking like, do I want to click this or click that, right?
I do actually want to go back to like what they had, where they were teasing some of the new like HUD elements, where you have like this inner.
Oh yeah.
And this right here, I hope that
Soon
you have an
yeah.
option to.
They called it weapon stack in one of them, didn't they? Like that was the nickname.
Oh wait, is that multiple options right there?
What are you talking about?
E to holster, F to.
So that's going to be your primary and secondary. So they're overlapping them, so you can hit one or the other once you like set what you want your primary and your secondary action to be.
That's the idea right there.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was going to mention, I hope that at some point this is all an option to like toggle. So if like, say I don't want to see some of these elements, I can just turn that off.
I think you can do that right now.
And types. So
no, you can't. You really can't actually. That's always there. It doesn't matter. Like the element over here with the HUD, like for.
Well, no, not that, but I just meant the
secondary.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for this. The thing I'm worried about is server.
Your default inspect,
like causing issues.
If you want to be picking up golden lemons and
all right, can I just say this? So imagine you're looking at an item to select. Pause it. You're looking at spacebar. Pause is quick, by the way. But if you so imagine you're looking at an item, but there's a positional desync on the server, and now you're over here trying to, you know what I mean? Like, I just imagine having those issues. You know.
Itachi's eating chips again. I saw that.
I know. Look at him trying to
sneak it in there.
I can't mute him. Oh, I can mute him separately. Let me go ahead and take care of that.
Yeah, you can just like.
That's not chips, I swear.
Yeah, he just needs to eat before we do this. In fact, he eats more when we go live.
It's true. He had a full bag of chips, but he didn't touch it until we actually like pressed the go live button. Can confirm.
SC doesn't have any issues. I like this guy.
I'm gonna go back into this though.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you want to equip ammo as soon as you come across it to your suit, you can set that as your default item action. So it's something that, with a little bit of interaction from yourself, means that you can customize and tweak your own play experience and really rough out the edges in terms of your minute-to-minute gameplay and how you interact with things.
We've also introduced a new scoring system for interaction points. That allows us to better select which interaction point is of interest to the player. Is it based on distance from the player, angle to the cursor or center screen, and whether it's on screen or not. It also allows us to interact with things that aren't quite on screen. So if there's a trolley handle just below you, you'll be able to tap F and you should just grab it. This makes it a lot more intuitive. Something on the ground can have a different default action to something in your hand. This is all set up and customized through the interaction wheel.
And then obviously the player now doesn't have to like go into interaction mode, drag the cursor, make the selection. It can just simply tap or double tap to trigger the secondary action. And that should be a much easier experience for the player.
We'll forget about what was there before. It'll feel like it has always belonged. You won't be able to live without it, really.
That's just some of the things our team has been working on over the last few months and bringing to SC Alpha 323.
We're looking at bringing you lots more stuff from...
I feel like one of those guys aren't ready for the video to come his way.
We're really excited to get that into your hands to improve your overall player experience, the way you travel through the verse. Yeah, when you get your hands on it, please let us know what you think. We're really excited to find out.
So what did we learn this week? Well...
All right, Jared Huckabee. Is that his name?
Yep.
Is it Huckabee?
Wait. Is this the one with the Easter egg at the end?
It is. We can watch it if you want to.
All right.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I don't know. This is an Easter egg?
You didn't see it? Okay, yeah, there's an Easter egg.
I didn't see
right
it.
here.
Let's see it.
Yep, right
That's
at
so
the end of the
stupid.
episode. Oh, there is
It's
like
so
a
stupid.
Robotech right there. That's kind of cool.
Robotech?
I'm more about the alcohol in the back. Some of that is expensive, dude.
Is that... Whoa, pause it. Hold on.
Yeah,
What is this green guy doing?
it's the Avengers. You have the Hulk, Captain America.
Oh, it looks like he's
Yeah.
mounting the other
Check
guy.
out
I'm
that
not gonna
hammer
lie. That's what I saw at first. I'm sorry.
Wait, is this?
I do like the little like hammerhead on top of the actual hammer shield. It's kind of nice too.
It does look like he's getting hammered.
Yeah, it's the All right.
How many
That's
times
it.
do you think it
That's
took them to do that?
I'm
Yeah,
sure without
probably
like
too long.
laughing, it took quite a few, like quite a few. At least I couldn't take it seriously. It'd be like trying to do the,
Hey!
first
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, Zach?
Technician. Hey! It hurts that money was spent on that. Hurts too.
You don't have to talk about that. It's okay.
So what you're saying is that if income went up based on game performance, it would improve? No, probably not.
No.
They would, anyway, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
We're not going to have that conversation. So, with that being said, how do you guys feel the interaction system that they have just introduced is going to affect like PvP though? Is it going to be easier to grab a mag and then just get right back into the action rather than just trying to, hold down F and try to find like the closest gun to like position? I wonder how that's going to
when you think, when you're talking about interaction system though, does that include, so is interaction system, you mean just a wheel? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I'm thinking just the wheel for now.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I know that they're also going to implement the ability to pull clips, which will take longer, out of your backpack on the field, right? So if you run out of what's on your belt, you could still pull it out of your backpack. But I guess that's not really what you're talking about. Yeah, that would be really good. I don't see why they couldn't do that, but they probably, because they have to spend another year finishing the poop animations first before they continue.
Toilet paper. Get it right. Toilet paper.
It's not that. It's not that. It's the sheets of toilet paper. You remember how they had to do the physics for the sheets? It's going to be physics for the sheets of toilet paper.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Thing, just saying.
Fart sounds.
Yeah. Did you guys have anything else you want to add to that? Otherwise, I think we should move on to the Star Citizen Live. The thing
we didn't even answer your question. You wanted to know how that would affect PvP.
This is the new Dead.
He's just like, moving on. I know Dead's like, that's it.
You guys had your chance to answer. We're not like touching on the topic, topic anymore.
I think I could see under some circumstances where you don't, right as it stands right now, we don't have enough clips on your belt, right? And you have a dead body in front of you. And you could pull it off theirs real quick. It might actually make things better.
I don't say clip instead of magazine. Are you British?
No, I just don't know anything about guns.
Anyways, moving on.
All right. Am I switching over here? Are we?
Yeah.
I got nothing.
It has to share again. Just hang on. Oh, it removed the source again.
That's right. There we go. I think I might have it.
You have to grab it like that. Yep.
Is it showing up? It is. I got it.
No
problem.
So this is discussing, what was the first topic that you had like posted? This is discussing.
Oh, the first topic?
First topic was distribution centers and how
in the middle they blurred together. People, I'm sorry. I've done a lot of these shows. Distribution centers are now fully on track to come in Alpha 3.23.
Yep.
What can you tell me about what players can expect?
Okay, so just as a bit of background, the distribution centers are these massive facilities that truly are really big, that are down on the surface of planets and moons and things like that. And they kind of are what they sound like, right? It's a center of distribution. Like there are lots of landing pads. There should be a big,
I'm laughing at what
Undead
Ranger said.
There are a lot of different areas of the distribution center that are different from each other. So you've
I
got
don't
the
understand
exterior,
There must
typically
be
where
some
you'll
kind of
people be
like
landing their
reference
ship,
to
unloading cargo, things like that.
Some sort of
You've got the offices up top, which is generally more of a front for whatever a business.
Some sort of reference, right? There's
What?
like a Muppet deck here. You saw the Muppet like on the.
Oh,
yeah.
no,
Oh.
I don't-
Behind that, I don't know either. Anyways,
that's
back
probably
on-
like
There
his
should be
friend.
it should be a big hub
Maybe,
of
yeah.
activity, basically, and there are a lot of different areas of the distribution center that are different from each other. So you've got the exterior, typically where people will be landing their ship, unloading cargo, things like that. You've got the offices up top, which is generally more of a front for
It's
whatever
gonna be street
business or
guy, yeah.
corporation has ownership of this place. And then you've kind of got more of the inner workings, which are kind of where you would typically expect to see cargo being ferried. If there's machinery that are producing stuff down there, if they're making something, then that would be where that's all tucked down. So what we're trying...
What were we going to say?
No, I mean, do they have... I kind of want a good picture of it. You know what I mean? Because...
In the teaser...
Well, we've all seen the distribution centers, right? I mean, the new ones anyway. And I think at some point in this video, they show a top-down view of it. And it's just overall, I'm trying to imagine like how cool it would be to be able to go there and even create some sort of chaos. I don't know. I just think it would be kind of cool.
Be great. Like they had mentioned that there's going to be an overlap in missions that are at these locations. So with that, you're going to have a lot of chaos. People that are, thinking that whoever's flying in to just grab a single, box from whatever distribution centers, someone that's trying to like steal your ship so they can take it back to, Crusader security or, however that plays out. I don't know anything about the contracts, but I think a new hub like this where multiple parties are converging into the same location is a great idea. What I hope they do is just let players kind of sort it out too. That's a great thing about, locations like this. It's like original Jumptown. You have all these people converging in the same location. It's chaos, or they can talk it out. It's just, I love the RNG there. It's just unpredictable, right?
I'm always thinking about
yeah. Go ahead.
I always think about how we pretty much make our own content or chaos. It's kind of the same thing at this point, but
it just adds more to it.
Well, I was going to say, think about having an org that, you have a bunch of FPS guys. You got a bunch of guys that like doing the infiltrating FPS type stuff. So, I mean, dude, just drop them off and literally put a ship on the other side of it and be like, go, kill each other. Last one to get out wins.
Not even that, but not even just that. Look at what Contagion was saying too about that. They talk about how as you go further down, it becomes like it might be illegal
stuff.
Yeah, as you get down, it might be illegal stuff. So if you're going down, you're doing illegal stuff. Obviously, there's going to be another mission that sparks for other players to come and try to stop you. Right. So
I doubt they will.
These are not going to be Armistice. As far as I know, these have been discussed that they're going to be like high defensive. So you're going to have a lot of like missile turrets and probably standard turrets. When I first saw there was a picture that was teased in, I think it was on a Twitter post or something recently with Star Citizen. I thought it was distribution center for like SCD-1. I was like, no way. Are they going to put like a box, distributor on top of a pad so someone can bring their stuff into it? Because it's just Griefing Central there, even though that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
But there's like in a non-Armistice area, it actually seems great. Turret buffs also do seem appropriate. I do agree with what Undead's, saying there.
I don't think it's going to be Armistice though. Like not the way we see it anyway today.
Because if they have the unlawful missions in there, they're going to have to allow players to shoot. And I think this is actually a step in the right direction as far as, distribution and stuff. I'm glad to see this.
The other thing that I think, if you consider, that means it may become more of a group like venture or whatever activity, right? So in other words, like we have guys from the org, we have to have guys that watch the sky, because when you're going down there to do illegal stuff, I mean legal stuff, of course, right? We'd be the good guys. No. So, but when we're doing like illegal stuff and we spark a crime stat or whatever it might be, or if somebody else gets a mission, we have guys that are watching the sky. Like it's going to become, I think, a lot more fun. Probably when meshing comes though, because I'm a little concerned about desync. So
not even just desync, but the lack of people always doing these missions.
At first it'll be busy, right?
At first it'll be booming because Star Citizen is a really like trend-based game when it comes to action and encounters. People are always doing what's going to make the most money, or what's going to, be the more interesting point of interest to go check out, because nobody's seen it yet.
Yeah.
Especially, from like a content creator like point of view, that's how I would see it at least. So
yeah. I mean that's true. I think what it is like you have a lot of people that have been around for a while too, and then they're gonna, it's gonna be like what I always do, right? Oh, there's a new area, gonna go check it out. All right, it's getting boring. Nobody shows up anymore.
Or you have like no frames because it's either Hometown on Hearth and a Rapple. It's just like
because a patch was dropped and then vacation started for a month.
Pretty much, yeah. Was there anything else that we wanted to cover in this section? I was just curious. I feel like
no,
trying to prove
a lot of it, right?
No, yeah, I didn't really want to talk a whole lot about that one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Here's going to be the fun one that I know everybody loves. Let's talk. Which one is it though? 1930, 2730. Master modes.
Oh, you're looking at the master modes. Yeah, here we go.
You ready? Oh God.
Yeah.
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 Even tech.
No. Listen.
Wait, what's happening? What is happening right now? Did something happen?
We're listening. We're listening. So
listening to what?
How they're announcing that in 4 weeks they're going to be bringing in.
Oh, wait! Are you playing a video?
I am. Oh, it's not sharing. Is it?
No. Well, it was sharing, but
we're sitting here in dead silence. What are we waiting for?
Yeah. The whole thing was just. I'm just staring.
I'll reshare.
That was great.
This one, my bad. That was just.
I want my technical difficulty screen.
Yeah, that was great, man. I mean, I enjoyed it, so whatever. It's already up. It's
enjoyed
cool.
it. Yeah, that's great.
We're both.
Oh yeah, this is
We've already done that on that.
All right, ready?
Yeah, we're ready. It's up.
It's up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it on?
I don't think I'm ready. We're ready to share that just yet, but there are some exciting plans for distribution centers. Beyond 323 that boy, when they let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you really loud. All right. From there, let's move on to some ship stuff. What did it say? Wow, the Star Citizen Live set has come such a long way, says Old Boy. Yeah, well, we try. Master modes.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been talking about master modes again. Master modes almost
actually
we've been talking
Rudy,
about master modes for just
you're
as long as
fucking
we've been
lying.
talking about distribution.
Hey, shut up.
Excuse
they
me,
first
sorry.
debuted 2 Citizen Cons ago. In 323, they are slated to go in.
Yep.
They're slated to go in. So yeah. So yay for everybody. Rich, the vehicle experience team, Rich Challer's team, April and all of them. They're fast working on converting all of Star Citizen's existing spaceships to the master modes, defining the different archetypes. And again, we'll be talking about those in detail in ISC in 4 weeks.
4 weeks. That's going to be a big topic for us.
This is not.
Yeah.
So look, pause. They're discussing about how they're converting all of the flight models for each of the ships for 3.23. And that's they're introducing master modes into live servers.
Yeah, I've heard. I keep thinking people are lying, but they officially announced it.
They officially announced it, and it's. I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's got to happen at some point in the live setting. It's going to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean,
does that mean we like it? No, by no means. But are we just going to have to get used to it? Unfortunately, yes. Is what it's sounding like, right?
So basically, where we're at now. Oh my God, I definitely want to listen to more of this because I have so much to say about what he talks about. But basically, where we are now is there's going to be another iteration of master modes coming out in the next patch. It's going to have
2.1, yeah.
I wish St. Nick's was in here. I forget who knows, but I know it's going to have 45-degree turns and now going to be at the same speed as full pitches, right? So we got our 45s back. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So basically 45s aren't faster, but they're the same pitch rate. So that, which actually, so 45 pitch rate is, for those of you that know, is very important for being able to, okay, how can I paint a picture of this? All right. So if I can only pitch straight up and down.
Pause. Time out. What if
Yeah.
you open up MS Paint and then screen share exactly what you're talking about?
I vote for this.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No,
I can give an actual example though, right?
By all means.
If you're using your thrusters to move up and down or left and right, you are only using those correct thrusters. If you are, over here, if you are 45, you now have the underside thrusters and side thrusters that can affect your agility. It can actually increase how many G's your ship is pulling. This is extremely crucial when you're in a dogfight, knife fighting, things like that, to be able to get a better angle on your target.
You're gonna screen share this, right?
Yeah, actually I was gonna screen share something, but
good. Please do.
So okay.
More thrusters means more force, means all the turns.
So it's only gonna show the screen I'm on right now, right? But this is probably a great example for you guys. So basically if all I can do is full pitch up and down on this fight, right? That means that, let's say, see how he's going under my ship, and let's say he was passing, God, if I could find a good example, right?
Right at the beginning was actually pretty good.
That was
you weren't shooting at him. You were beginning to engage him. A little further back.
Damn it. You mean like right here? So here's a good example though, actually. So you see how I turned to put him on a 45-degree angle? So let's say, see how I had to turn?
Here.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say he was going to pass me by. I think you guys can see my mouse and everything, right? Let's say he was going to pass me by and come overhead, and he quickly turned and went under me somehow, right? So now I would have to do a full rotation to get him on a perfect pitch, where if in this case, right, I'm keeping him at one of the 45s, and let's say he pulled under, it's less of a turn I have to rotate my ship to get him at a good pitch. You see what I'm saying? So actually for positional gameplay, it actually gives you the ability to be able to turn into that pitch quicker, I think. So it's actually very important. Even if the pitch rate isn't faster, it is very important for being able to have that positional gameplay.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily directly pitch and yaw at that point. What you're doing is positioning your ship in faster or slightly faster than your target.
Yep. And if you only have one angle that it's good at, that means you have to do that full, 180-degree turn.
Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference in a fight, right? Massimo's worst part. I can't read this.
Massimo's worst part was the lack of 45s and tricording. With that coming back, I really hope it will equalize multi-crew versus single crew. I do agree.
Yeah.
I hope that it will create like more of a balance between the two, that we've had such a gap for a long time, whether it's the old flight model or the new one, right?
Yeah, and the question is, the thing that I wonder, and I know we don't want to stick too long without continuing watching video, but the thing that I do wonder is tricording going to be equivalent to a straightforward boost also? Because that tricording, I can give you guys one more example on that. Let's see, it is. Okay, that tricording also is very important in positional gameplay. I wish I had another good video I could show you. I mean, I have tons of videos, but that tricording is actually very important, right? Here, can I just do one more example here?
Yeah, by all means, please do.
So,
please do.
All right. So being able to have a tricord, even if it's the straightforward boost, if it's equivalent, what that allows is for me to do certain pushes in specific ways, right? Yep. So if I can find a good example here, right? So what that allows me to do is set up a pre-nose. I'll probably end up doing it, knowing
honestly,
me, right? So right here, if I pushed a tricord through, right here, that allows me to sit, because I'm already kind of nosing in that direction. It allows me to push through that way, even if it's equivalent to a straight push. But instead, since I'm tricording in this direction, right, that allows me to set my pre-nose to be able to get up over him if I was going to do that, which I didn't do that here. Yeah. But
I was going to say, I've been the victim of that against you several times.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome when you can set that up, you know? Yeah. All right, here we go. So that's another thing I think it's pretty important, being able to do that tricord, even if it's exact equivalent to a forward straight boost.
Right.
And what's next?
What you're telling me now is that I don't have to, like, I can shuffle my computer monitor from the portrait back to landscape? Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Monitor. Like, I'll be good.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
what's
think
up,
it's. I know. I'm so glad. I've been getting tired of playing the game with the.
You wanted to play it again? Is what you were? I
I just wanted to be able to play again in general. Yeah. All right. Do you want me to go back to?
Let's go back to the video. Yeah.
All right. Let's do this.
Taking us a while to get to master modes.
Yep.
And not everyone is. I think it's safe to say not everybody is completely on board with the idea. You know, I can read Spectrum, I can read Reddit and whatnot.
Who do you think he's referring to here? Any ideas, guys?
I missed what he said, man.
Yeah, I missed it too.
Not everybody's on board with master.
Oh.
Rewind
that. Can you rewind it just like 30 seconds?
Yeah. We can. 1 second. Right about there.
Not everyone is. I think it's safe to say not everybody is completely on board with the idea. You know, I can read Spectrum, I can read
like
Reddit and whatnot. There seem to be just as many people who are for the idea as against.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Who's on board equivalent to who's not on board with it? That's the question.
I don't think you want me to answer that question.
Yes.
Nix is not on board. Yeah. No. I think he's talking about morphologists. Maybe, I don't know. We know who Mostly Harmless versus everyone else. The people on board are the people who do not, that's not their main gameplay. That's my opinion. That's the people that are mostly on board. The people who it's like a niche, they're focusing on dogfighting, they're on board to it not being what it is right now. So master modes. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry. I had to. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever.
Back to video.
Yeah.
Right? And people are always, initially going to be resistant to it. And I think that's very, very natural because you've been playing a game for such a long time and it's such a big change that you're going to have to relearn a lot of the things that you've already learned before. But ultimately, again, this was another thing that has come around.
What did you say? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Sorry.
No more candy bars, please. Okay.
But he is completely on board with the idea. You know, I can read Spectrum, I can read Reddit and whatnot. There seem to be just as many people who are for the idea as against.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this.
I mean, it's a big change, right? And people are always, initially going to be resistant to it. And I think that's very, very natural because you've been playing a game for such a long time and it's such a big change that you're going to have to relearn a lot of the things that you've already learned before.
No, that's not it. That is not it. Because I came from Elite Dangerous to this game, two totally different flight models, and I liked both. So it's because it doesn't make sense yet. That I had to say that. It's not because I'm like, I'm not, just because I'm elder. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. What was your Elite Dangerous name? Was it CMDR Elder Relic?
It was, yeah.
Okay. All right, anyways, what were
Why, have I killed you before? No, but listen.
Never played Elite. I'm happy to say that.
But listen, it's not because I'm old, just because I'm an elder, right? Doesn't mean I don't like change. But I don't like change that doesn't make sense. And right now it doesn't completely make sense. It's going in the right direction. So it's not for him to say that. It's like he's just assuming people are just like, oh, I don't like it because it's changing. No, I came from Elite Dangerous.
We had feedback that was valid. I feel. Coming from like the PvP community and everything that everybody was posting on Spectrum, it was valid like criticism because it wasn't great. There was a reason why the lobbies were empty during previous, patches with Arena Commander introducing master modes. It wasn't because it was bad, or it wasn't because it was good. It was because it was bad, and people knew that. Yeah, it was just it was boring. Nobody wanted to do it.
But like to make that assuntioon. And there's another thing he says that they've done internal testing, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you guys like jumped in, you're like, oh, this seems good, and then jumped out. Not to be super critical. Back in my day,
super critical.
I recall when they did internal testing on the, I don't know. Do you remember what is the ship that's like based on the B-wing starfighter? It folds. And they had said it was good, but that was because the Reliant. They had said that was good. Like it had passed, it was done. Everything was fixed on it. But that's because they had tested it in Arena Commander, not in PU. So sometimes their internal testing isn't as thorough as it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Just call
yeah.
that out.
That's, I mean, that you know what too. There was an instance where there was a problem with the Tana not switching correctly or something. You know how the modes switch, and I know that librarian actually went and like they reported it. CIG said, yeah, he was like, oh nope, it's working fine, and he caught them for only testing it in AC, and it turns out it was only
that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, yeah. So there you
that's
go.
What I was trying to refer to that. It was interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyways, we can go back.
Going back again, this was another thing that.
Wait. Tachi's had something to say. He'll cut him off.
I don't care if he had something to say. It's fine. He was eating potato chips earlier. He has nothing to say.
I'll just be a pretty face on screen. God knows we need one.
All right. Well, see you later, Tachi.
Okay, moving on. What were you
going to say? All right, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I was actually talking about this with Q right before we had actually started the stream, and I told him it's not the fact, I know they kind of say this in the video, but it's not, agreeing with Elder, it's not the fact that there's changes coming and it's hard to change. Yeah, your muscle memory is going to be screwed up, but let's face it, if you're not willing to adapt and change and learn and improve, you are not playing the right game. You need to go find something else that's been doing the same thing for 20 friggin' years. Like, absolutely. Because
that's true. Yeah,
you have to adapt and change. You have to find workarounds. You have to learn why something's working or not working, broken, or why just how distortions and stealth and all that stuff work, for example. But the point is that they want to say, oh yeah, you a lot of the community doesn't want to learn just because it's a change, it's new. No, Elder said, there's things they're good. I'm not gonna lie, there are things that are good about it, but it creates a whole new mess of things that don't make sense.
Yeah, so it's not about change. Like, I mean, honestly, again, coming from one game with a different flight model to this one and adjusting to that change, that wasn't a problem, right? I enjoyed it, and it seemed like it made sense. But I think my biggest thing, and Technician was agreeing with me last night too, is that it doesn't feel like you're flying in outer space in master modes, and that's kind of awkward.
I never played a flying game ever in my life until I played this. I came from FPS and racing.
Oh, really? And now you like being a pilot. That's interesting. That's interesting, but it feels like Ace Combat Space Edition. Yeah, right.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, jumping back over.
Right, back to this.
The game, especially in like combat focused scenarios in Squadron, and going through and going, like, hey, we feel like change needs to be made. So just a very, very, very high level of what master modes are is essentially you have navigation and 2 SCM modes that you switch between, and they have very defined purposes with how you fly your ship. And what this has allowed us to do is in SCM, which is essentially your combat mode, is we've made it so the combat is able to be a little bit tighter. Does SCM stand for Space Combat Mode? Ship speeds there, but combat is a lot more personal.
Is that what SCM stands for? Space Combat Mode? Is that what it stands for? Don't tell me that's what SCM means.
I don't know.
Does
anyone know what that's ever meant?
That's what I heard.
New to the verse. Okay.
That's what that's what SCM means.
That's what that means.
That's so corny. Oh, dude, that's just as bad as piss. All right, go ahead. Whatever.
Peace. It's peace.
All right. Back on to this.
It's all a lot tighter, and we felt that it felt for a much more visceral and a lot more personal and experience with whoever you're fighting. And obviously that's translated to the player versus player combat as well, which again we've been testing internally quite a lot. And it's avoiding situations where you're able to essentially exploit the flight system to kind of constantly play chase and not really have a proper one-on-one combat with someone, and you're constantly running away and not running away.
Much,
so we felt that it was a positive change as we've been playing the game. So yeah,
I think
but you're still running into the problem where
with it, it gets more exciting the more players that get involved.
What did you want to say?
Well, as I say, you still run into the problem where once you go over SCM, which happens very quickly, you're immediately coupled, right? So that like gap between SCM and boosted kind of is strange. And also there should still be some ability for people to get the hell out of the fight. You know what I mean? Like You don't want to limit it too much. So, I mean, that's kind of a concern. Like, yeah, it's annoying when somebody doesn't want to fight you and they're all over the damn place. But at the same time, you don't really have to fight them. I do agree with bringing the speeds down. I don't agree with like being in Atmo when you're in outer space. So, yeah.
It's certainly fun 1v1, but when the furball starts, we're testing some things that where more and more players are jumping in and stuff like this, and when I'm seeing the battles with like 15 people involved, 25 people involved, it keeps them all
okay.
The chaos,
the chaos. But this made me think of the 50v50 that was just yesterday and today. The Verse at War. Holy hell!
Oh, I didn't get to see that.
It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
I tuned into most of Saturdays just because it was crazy looking at the radar systems. It was filled. I don't know how they were keeping up with that, but I was watching. I think it was Vexion's stream.
Yeah,
it was really fun to just kind of check that out. So I just wanted to get a little bit of a shout out for that. That's all.
I would, I wish I would have seen it, but I was too busy getting ripped. All right, go ahead.
I was working all day. I was
tight,
Joe.
packed.
Yep.
And literally the screen can be filled with ships this way, and it's much more visceral experience.
It's a game changer. We've got such beautiful ships. We've got amazing VFX that when you're shooting at someone, you typically in the past haven't really been able to see because you're hundreds of meters, if not kilometers away from people. It seems a real shame to not be able to see some of that stuff. You're basically just interacting with the UI. So this bringing you closer together is just a much better feeling experience in our opinion.
Okay.
So master mode's on track.
Hold on.
323.
No. That's another thing. Like this obsession with bringing us closer together so we can see the details of the fight. Dude, I like it's. Listen. If you're a good pilot, you get close enough anyway to be able to see those details, but you're not super focused.
Hey, you just bought an Avenger, okay? We want to make sure that you can stay within 300 meters of your target. Calm down. You also don't know what the firing button is yet.
It's like this obsession over trying to bring the fights closer to show the beautiful details of the fight. Like
that's a terrible excuse.
Nobody's really paying attention to that.
No, when you're like in a deep combat, you're not like, whoa, did you see the way the sparks are flying off your ship? It was great.
Look at did you see the paint on that?
I was about to say that.
The Super Hornet, whatever.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Get close enough to look at the characters inside the I mean it's cool for when you're rewatching the video, but
you see that exactly mid-fight it's like do I actually want to kill him? Does he have good gear on? I can't tell.
Yeah, I mean it's like I like if that's one of the reasons to bring to change a whole damn flight model, right? So just so you can get closer in a fight. It is a terrible reason, right? Yeah. It's like this obsession of like, look at how beautiful my creation is, everyone.
I like what
17 said. Wording, getting rid of jousting is what.
Yes,
at the moment, yeah.
Mark it off,
and we want a lot of feedback. So, and we will get it. I'm
you'll
sure,
get it.
But
along with master modes, some other ship-related stuff, precision targeting, precision targeting, and a big change to gimbals. What can you tell us about this?
So
I mean, it's good for taking out turrets.
Very core is very similar to what you would do in a first-person shooter. You take time to aim, and it kind of almost helps you be more accurate. So what you can expect in the ships is a immediate zoom. So I know we've got a system where you can scroll in and zoom, and it's maybe a little bit awkward to try and use. This is a more toggle in, toggle out of zoom. So again, you're going to be closer anyway through master modes coming in.
Okay.
This is more a case of you're closer already, and now you're zooming in on your target. You can see much.
Two things.
Two things I can think of that are still beneficial regardless for being able to precision target is one, obviously clipping the engines if you don't actually want to blow it up. You want their FPS gear or whatever, or their cargo, obviously. But two, and this is actually something I like, is, and Elder's brought this up numerous times, I want to be able to use the distortions right where the components are at.
Yeah, because that's important.
Oh,
I think that
that actually makes sense.
I think they bring something up, precision component targeting. But I mean, I don't have a problem with the zoom, but zoom is useless right now because with the mini auto gimbal that's always there, right? You can't precision target anything. So and not only that, but then they changed the way that you target like engines and stuff because you have to scan them first, right? So if I'm going to get
that today. and it wouldn't work.
works. Well, it does work
It
sometimes.
wasn't working
then.
for me either.
Oh, really? It's probably broken again.
But
like it did.
You told me
work.
that
Like,
several
the
times,
engines
and I've
of,
been
like, every
disappointed every
ship.
time.
Well, even better. So it's not even working when that's what it's worked for me. I had to scan first, but like if I'm about to take out a ship, you're a pirate. Let's paint a scenario that none of us are familiar with. I'm a pirate, right?
What?
I'm a pirate, and I'm gonna take out the ship, right?
Wait. Time out. Are you telling me that Grim 42 is a piracy like org?
No.
Is that
I'm out.
Go ahead. I want to see you go into that hab behind you. That'd be kind of cool. All right.
Focus.
So I like doing that. I have the power. No, but okay. So I'm gonna pirate a ship, right? But first, let me scan their components. Meanwhile, they're shitting themselves. Excuse me, pooping themselves.
Well, there goes our one word.
Yeah, this is the second one I did too.
Second one, I think.
They're over there crapping themselves, right? And they're like, I gotta get the F out of here because I got a freaking, I don't know, Gladius or whatever. A guy named Deadfrag, he's trustworthy. He's got dead right in his name.
Always.
Right? So it's like the whole concept of having to scan the ship first. There should be like a soft auto scan that takes a moment and then it has the components listed because every ship is going to remain the same. Components don't change anyway. Works like that in Elite Dangerous. I know I'm compared it to a dead game, but still.
No, it's a game that's also been established for a long time, so it's a great reference for that matter.
Yeah.
Right. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Video. Unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about on that.
We're just trying to stall you out.
So if you're in a combat scenario where you're flying around and having to maneuver a lot and you're dealing with multiple targets, you might not necessarily want to use it too much. But if I'm in a situation where you're flying a cutlass and I'm trying to take one of your engines off, I can toggle into precision targeting mode and go straight for your engines if I wanted to just take out your engines, get on board and deal with you that way. So it's, again, leans more into that closer feeling experience. Also helps you with aiming at a target rather than trying to pixel hunt a little bit with your screen.
It's fine,
and obviously makes it
No,
more
no,
accessible
no.
than having to scroll in and out.
I was just thinking
really.
lag
Just
pip.
one click to toggle in and out.
Oh yeah.
And then with the gimbal change, the big change there is all ships are basically now going to have gimbals.
Hold on, just look right in that camera. Don't drop it. Look right in that camera right there.
Which is whatever. Can you turn it on and
ships
off?
are going to have gimbals. Or all weapons are going to have gimbals. Weapon slots of ships are going to have gimbals. So that's not entirely true. I'm going to contradict myself already.
Yeah, there are a
couple
exceptions.
of exceptions. You look at the Idris, it's got a massive railgun on it. It's not going to be rotating around everywhere. It's
the nose gun on the Vanguard.
Yeah. So there are a few that are going
to
be
take this
stuck
away
as
once the
they
server
are, but
performance improves.
What we kind of had thought about for a while.
Wait, what do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean?
Because gimbals are based on AI, and AI is based on server performance. So if server performance is bad, that's why you're missing shots. That's why.
I think that's part of one of the biggest reasons why people are able to take advantage of like rolling, backstrafing, kiting, because of the fact that server performance, your what is it? What do you call it? It's like the auto aim function that they have. It's like a slight gimbal that you have now.
Yeah.
The reason why people can take
aim.
advantage, the assisted
ESP.
aim, is because of those things, because it's dependent on the server, and you should be able to shut that off. Like the assisted aim, you should be able to shut it off altogether if you have
This is kind of a faux spoof
Fix
feature
assist.
that it's just going to literally be adjusted again when server performance, whenever soon TM actually gets to a good stable level where gimbals are going to start like hitting more consistently or just as consistently as like experienced pilots. Then everyone's going to be like, well, maybe I should just use gimbals instead. So it'll help with turrets, though.
It will.
But gimbals won't miss in the future because you'll both be moving at a snail's pace anyway. So
that is true.
Yeah,
that's a fair point. Yeah,
if you could. Plus, you have like the spread or whatever. I don't. Dude, why does Itachi look like DJ?
Swap down and swap out for the different weapons. And exchanging the gimbal out for that basically because new players come in and it's not immediately understandable what's going on there, and we didn't really feel like it was adding as much value. And just to touch on the turrets as well, turrets are now going to have gimbaled weapons too, which is really, really good because obviously previously you were limited to the rotation speed of the turret. It gives you a little bit more look ahead and a little bit more of a unified, pleasant experience that you can expect from the ships that you can then expect from the turrets as well. So
So I think we glossed over the gimbal change. And again, we have an entire ISC dedicated to this. So we're covering a lot of topics that you're then going to see deep dives of for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks and whatnot. But with the gimbals, the size restriction is also going away with them. So
as in, it's you're no longer trading.
Have to do
down.
one size. Yeah,
exactly.
One down.
Yeah.
So some ships will get bigger weapons.
Yeah, I mean,
about that.
Why would if you have gimbals always, then obviously you're not going to lose the size to gimbals because everybody has it, right? I mean, is that what I'd see? I had read something where they were talking about how with gimbals, instead of you losing a size, you just lose some strength to having a gimbal weapon, but apparently that's not a thing anymore. I don't know. Burst speed will be lower when gimbal is on. Oh, okay. So you could turn off gimbal for like more effective. Yeah, because gimbal, I don't like using gimbal anyway.
So are we talking like more sustained? So like, I don't want to say like, is it going to pertain to like recharge rate, or is it going to be like RPM?
I would assume he's talking about RPM, maybe. I don't know. Less DPS.
Okay, so just slightly less damage per shot, or what?
Yeah, gimbal on, fire rate down. Okay.
Yep. Do we have them actually saying that? Do we have proof of that, or is this like speculation?
I don't know. They seem pretty knowledgeable. I trust them immediately.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just have them on, and they can tell us about it.
I'm done. Okay.
The exceptions.
I'm done.
Basically, I'm not going to give you an exhaustive list of the exceptions, but if you look at a ship and there's clearly a very impossibly fixed weapon on it, think Inferno, think Vanguard with the nose, think Idris with the railgun. Those will not be gimbaled. So they're not going through and remaking the ships to
imagine
it. So there are
gimbaled railgun
amount of exceptions. I think it's like 4 or 5.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it will be an exception rather than a common thing.
But you can clearly look at the ship and go, I don't understand how that could be gimbaled. Congratulations, that's probably one of the ones that aren't being gimbaled.
All right.
All right, and again, we will cover all that.
Okay, I think that pretty much wraps up the portion of master modes, if memory serves, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much I'm all talked out. I do agree, by the way. Was it too late that was saying just to kind of write it out and see? I mean, just accept it. I kind of have. I just don't know. Oh, I don't remember where it was, but I just don't know. Oh, here it is. It's too late. I think we should just make the best of it. It's a change, but we will get through it. Yeah, I think adjustments will come. And, it's just one of those things. It may change my focus in gameplay, though. Like, if it continues going a certain direction where I just don't enjoy it, then piloting won't be my main gameplay. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a lot of different aspects. So.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of things
games where I think a lot of the gameplay has just been... for the last few years, or even now, just placeholder tech, right? Until they implement proper systems. And the whole game is just going to be a matter of rebalance. No matter how fine-tuned they have it right now, they have so much to actually, adjust on the wider spectrum of things, because this doesn't take into account any of the other ships, such as QED, EMP ships. How is that going to affect, how is master modes going to affect that? I know there was a discussion in the Grim 42 Discord the other day about how they need to make sure that, there isn't like an EMP meta with how that, becomes more of a thing. Getting away. Sorry about that. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. But yeah. Yeah, no. It's a bad habit. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. He's maxed out on my end.
So like QED and like EMP ships, how is the master modes like flight model going to affect that? Is it going to create like a weird meta with how the yeah,
that's a good question, because like, okay, EMP, you ain't getting away from a damn ship that's going to EMP you, really.
Especially when they're an interdictor.
I don't know. I think they should really focus on the main ships, the main fighters that they have been working on. It's gonna, we're gonna have like weird metas in the next like couple of years, regardless of what happens. Right now, we're dealing with Hornets and how they have like a weird, way that they pull G's in the way they do, and that'll at some point probably get nerfed down again. They will rebalance, and we're just gonna have to, deal with it until further notice, is what I understand.
I do like the shakeup.
I mean, I mean, I'm not against that, but it's a test bed, right? I get that.
Yep.
I'm not totally against them just dropping it at 323, honestly, because I feel like when they just rip the Band-Aid off, like we'll have this next iteration and the next patch, make a few more adjustments. It'll go into 323. We'll be in the PU.
Confirmed, getting changed with master modes. Oh, that's good. That's good to know. The acceleration on the
on the
okay. F7. That's
gotcha.
Good. That's good.
What kind of rework are you referring to, Tech?
I pray distortion is reworked. Yeah, he just means in general, probably.
In general, it feels like it's way too high currently for how much it affects the shields and everything. It should be a matter of like getting the shields down first and then maybe hitting with distortions. I don't know.
I mean, right now it statistically does about 50% of what your normal laser does to shields, and I think it should.
You could tell now, but it wasn't originally, right?
30 or 40 would be good, I think.
30 to 40, I think it should be a little under half, but the like direct hole contact, especially around the components themselves, I think that does need to be reduced by an extra like 10-20%. Like I think they should still be pretty lethal once the shields are down. The whole idea is that you keep your shields up to keep. You see big blue lasers, like it should be a pretty good indicator. Oh crap! So
get it back off and then like keep your shields up. And
it wasn't, but it wasn't originally only 50%, right?
No.
It was like it was almost equivalent to the lasers,
same,
right?
Basically.
Yeah, you could tell they changed that recently, didn't they? It's not
shutting. It's off. It's shutting off everything else.
Most ships. Yeah, there are still some you can shut down, but it takes a lot of sustained fire.
Tech is thinking more. I think you guys are thinking more in terms of smaller ships. So that's why basically the splash damage is hitting the whole ship, right, and shutting it down. But like we've taken down like an A2 or a C2, and if you're not shooting at the neck, you're not shutting down the ship, really, right? Like, because that's where the main components are, is at the neck of the C2, like right before on the bridge, I guess. Is that the bridge? If you're hitting there, that's where you're shutting everything down, right? But when you're hitting like a Hornet or a light fighter,
you can just hit anywhere and it doesn't matter.
It's splashing the whole thing. Yeah,
exactly. Because even the repeaters, especially the cannons have a bigger explosion radius on contact. That's why that's their reason to use them. But even when you're using the repeaters, they have an explosion radius, and whatever components are in that area take that damage, as long as there's no shields up.
Yeah. I look forward to more balancing, though.
Okay, so we should move on to the next one. Let's see. I think it was this one. Let me just double check. So we had a few more topics that were kind of highlighted within Star Citizen Live. We could move on to the FPS weapon stuff, the Crosshair scopes, or we can kind of compile those two, I think, together.
Wait, so Contagion, you think that your weapons getting shut off so quickly is a problem? I mean, I'm not against it. It gives you a chance to get out, but I think it's going to be different when you're in a, master modes. It's like you can't even miss from a distance, and you can't move away fast enough to get out of that risk, right? So with master modes, it's going to be, but with master modes, it's going to be more of a problem, I think, than it is right now.
We're talking legacy right now. Like it's all going to change. So
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play this one. I gotta share the right page really quick though. Oops, stop sharing again.
That's all right. I'll fix it.
It wouldn't shift over to the right page. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's a lot of speculation. It's like I'm not against like the fact that they're doing.
So going back to your old stomping grounds here.
Yeah, I mean, so please stop me if I go too technical or go too deep on this, because obviously this is kind of my jam. So God, where do we start? So let's start with reloading. So
reloads and scopes and a few of those, details.
The changes or improvements to reloading, as we've been calling it, have again come through the necessity of change through playing combat in Squadron a lot, very focused combat areas where we're able to really hammer out some of the basic combat mechanics, where we were in situations that were getting frustrating, and we were essentially playing the game. As most people probably know, engage in the FPS combat, if you reload, we save your ammo pool to your magazine, and that goes back on your suit. And you might then end up in a situation where if you want to put more magazines on your suit is now completely full, and you can't put more on unless you swap them out. And it's a very sticky, tedious process. Yeah, so essentially we're trying to remove steps there rather than get rid of the realism that you have with basically having magazines that contain the ammunition. We want to keep that, and down the line we may still want to lean into doing the magazine stripping through a proper animated system. What we really wanted to lean in to at the moment is just an ability to be able to condense the amount of ammunition down that you've got.
Combined
so that's what we call ammo repooling.
Right,
and that is an interaction either on the weapon or in your inventory that lets you essentially go, this weapon, I would like to condense all of the magazines for that. Your character will play an animation while it's happening. It's quite a basic one. And then it will take a varying amount of time depending on how much ammunition you're shifting.
Tachi, what are you
so
reading?
if I'm doing LMG mags, that will take longer than, say, if I'm doing pistol magazines that might have 10 bullets in or so.
So, and of course,
how is a Kit Kat that crunchy though? Like, I know it's crunchy, but
wait, you could hear that?
Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
we could hear
what
that.
the heck?
It was just ASMR the entire time. That's all it was.
Dude, I didn't even chew on it for like the first 10 seconds.
Imagine have to reload mags. I mean, I think it's going to be cool though, because okay, so imagine this, and
hear me out. As a
right.
Daisy player, repacking the mags, really cool mechanic when it actually has an animation. If you're doing like a slide over, like with Tarkov, where it just reloads one by one, I think it's all right, but it's not as immersive.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like pulling out the mag, stripping it out. If you're gonna like empty one out and then packing, the other mag and having that animation, maybe the mag slap right at the end, just depending. But you were gonna say something, Elder?
But yeah, I mean, so that it's Star Citizen, there's gonna be an animation first of all. Of
course, I hope so.
Right? Because they're working on the helmet on, helmet off animation. But so the thing, I think, right, like right now, it doesn't really matter because nobody cares about money, right? But they're going to talk about soon in this video, they talk about economy and how they're working on that and how the prices of everything is going up. At some point, you're going to treat it like Tarkov. I'm willing to bet, where you're not gonna just waste your bullets, right? You're not gonna just waste your magazines.
I'm happy with, because it actually brings value for what you're either looting or purchasing at that point, right?
It makes everything even better.
We're lacking that right now in the verse.
Yeah, we need rarity in items too. What, Atachi, what'd you say?
I said it's going to make everything better for pirates. I mean, if there's scarceness of anything, pirating goes way up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly it. And people pirate for an actual reason now.
Exactly.
And also, I like what Tech brought up about the condition of the elements and the usage and damage. Oh my God, dude, we all look forward to that stuff like that. I think that's just really cool because that adds to rarity, that adds to the economy. I think that adds to everything. Hey, what's going on, Kuzi? Hey, yeah, Han. All right.
You didn't make the sound effects. It's not the same.
No, I did. I put it in. It didn't show up.
I don't know if you actually.
Oh, it did.
No, you usually.
Yeah, it did. It's in there.
It did. I just want you to do it again. That's all.
I think. I mean, I didn't get a good look at. I'll be honest. I didn't get a good look at the HUD that they have, planned down in the corners for us. But I think, we obviously have like our water and our food, things like that. Eventually, we're gonna have like hygiene as well. But I think it'd be cool, like you could open that up and it'll show like your current gear and it's like condition and stat and stuff like that too. I think that'd be really cool. What are you doing?
Who, me?
He's
Oh, don't worry about it. I forgot you guys could see this.
Yeah, no, we can see everything you're doing, buddy.
They can't see it though.
Where's that credit card number?
No, but the stream can't see. Only you guys could.
I do agree. Okay, back on topic, guys. What Tech is saying with like battle-torn helmets and attire, I love the idea of that. I also like the idea of damaging a suit to the point where if someone's in like 0G and they get enough damage on like, say, their undersuit, you suddenly are just leaking oxygen and you have no way of actually like repairing it. I have my cat in here and he's getting into the green screen now, so that's fun.
Oh, okay. Anyway. I like what you're talking about, but I also would like to see the cat jump across your face or something. It'd be hilarious.
No, you're not going to see any of that.
I vote the cat's on stream. Anyone? Everyone?
Where the hell's my hand? Yeah, I vote. But no. I never even thought of that.
See,
I never thought about that. Stuff like that would be so cool.
Like classic Mobile Suit Gundam, where there was a scene where someone takes like a bullet, like ballistic bullet, on the shoulder, and they have to use like a patch to actually like keep it from, you know, losing too much oxygen or anything else like that. I want to see that kind of like gameplay in the verse.
In
you know?
17 digits makes up a good point that gives you a good reason to carry the oxy pens, because right now it's almost not worth it. And then on top of that, you have to imagine you have also a pen that can lower or increase your resistance to G's, right?
Yeah.
But it's almost worthless because the amount of time that you get out of it and the amount of time you're in your seat, it's like it's gone before you even use it, right? Yeah. That brings into question, when are they going to add the ability to use the pens while you're in your seat?
There was remember in 318 there was it was a bug, but if you like click C while you're in your seat, you could med pen yourself and it would blow up your ship because of the collision.
Oh, blow up your ship. Oh, okay.
That was a thing. I remember blowing up so many damn times, and I never had my med pens on my character when I was like hijacking ships, because I would be in my, you know, like Gladius when I flew one back in the day. Hell out of here, little bastard.
This is great. Come here, kitty.
So it would like pull it up. You know how, like, have you ever seen the animation where the gun's like in your hand while you're controlling the flight stick? Yeah. Have you ever had that pop up? Yep. It was like that, but the med pen would be up, and then you'd click left click while you're like in combat, and then it would stab and then blow up the ship. It was quite a scenario.
I love, so they were like halfway there to what they wanted. The only problem was the ship was blowing up. So like they couldn't have fixed it so the ship didn't blow up, but you could still use your med pen, because
pretty much, yeah.
I think we all remember when you used to step off your ship and your ship blew up for that too. Remember that?
Or they would put down a Pico into the like co-pilot of a ship, and it would just blow up everything. Or even putting down like a little like cruise light onto the floor of a ship while someone's like flying, or you sneak on board, you blow up the ship.
Cat. Like, that's it. Do you think the cat can read? I wonder if it's watching the stream like.
No, he's already left. He's already eating his food. It's fine.
He's not happy about the cat, but we're all like, yes, yeah.
Let's see the cat.
Just see the cat. What was that?
I remember the days when certain backpacks, when you get in your ship after about like 5 minutes of flight, like you might leave Grimhex, get to your first location, you just explode, and it's like, what just happened? And then it came out that there were certain backpacks that were just doing constant damage to the ship.
Yeah, I remember that. Or do you remember when the Redeemer had the food container in the back and they had to put everything into a static position, because every time someone would like open up the cooler, it would blow up the ship because it multiplied millions of
where do these bugs even come from? Who remembers
the physics collisions? That's all.
The mini game in the freaking elevators at Grimhex.
Do you remember putting little sheets of armor all over like the hangars of Grimhex? So when people try to pull out, it would just blow up the ships because of the impact that it had.
I don't remember that.
Minefields out of the shit. I'm just saying.
That's great. That is great.
Anyways.
Okay. You want me
to get back on topic? Yeah. My bad. A little bit of a tangent.
Cover every aspect. We want to save some stuff for Torsten's team when he's on in a few weeks. This is a weird show. This is not a show that we've done before. We're essentially spoiling the entire season of Inside Star Citizen this quarter, if you haven't figured that out.
Me.
So this is basically
everybody's being very bored
to see on Thursdays for the next.
Move on to the next one.
9-10 weeks.
No, I mean, hold on. No, what I meant was everybody. I'm responding to him. Everybody's been really bored with the game. Like we needed this info dump, because honestly,
we did,
it was like I told you guys, like I was trying to like find ways to keep people interested in general to hang out, like, because nobody really wanted to get in the game.
I know there's no incentive right now because one, the economy's fucked. Two, I mean, the patch actually feels good, but nobody's like flying around. It's hard to find encounters because there's no economy that's actually, stimulating people like to go from like point A to point B to like either haul cargo, do certain missions, things like that.
There's no point in anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
There really is like literally no point in anything. Even to the point where like I was like, what's the point of even training PvP or dogfighting? Because it's like, we're in this weird like in between state, right?
I know, yeah. So a weird state of like transition. We can go back though. I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
Crosshair.
Okay, down at Crosshair. So again, this came through necessity from playing combat so much. It was essentially a situation where you don't always have time to aim. Sometimes you want to just shoot your gun in a desperate situation, and it's really nice to have an indicator there of where it is you're going to shoot. So we came up with the dynamic crosshair. It essentially gives you an idea of what sort of spread you can expect from your weapon, and we essentially simulate spread through a spread cone on our guns, just because we don't want the gun shaking all over the place to kind of generate.
Can't hear you
so
over it, man.
We do.
You got to
spread
pause
on there, and essentially, the more you
so I don't mind the idea of dynamic crosshair, but we need to have a toggle. If they have a toggle, I'm fine with it. Doesn't matter.
Didn't they say that it was going to be attached to combat suits?
That's what it sounded like, right? So anything that was like military grade would have that as an implementation, right? But I still want a toggle regardless, because that just feels kind of weird and kind of detached and kind of arcadey, right?
I just love like using the word dynamic. Go ahead.
Dynamic
changes, the more unstable it is. The dynamic crosshair basically tells you where you're going to be shooting.
Big
now, what we've done, and this kind of leans into some down the line armor gameplay that we're going to be leaning into, where we want to make the armor sets and things feel different and give them a
I'm not against it.
Is this dynamic crosshair is meant as a combat feature that you get on combat helmets.
On what, every other game? Is that what's happening? So 17 saying that basically they use dynamic crosshairs everywhere anyway? So is it really dynamic, or well, what's
standard,
I guess
now?
It's standard crosshair? Is that what they should have called it?
Well, so I always picture...
I think this brings up the whole point of some kind of like casual appeal of Star Citizen, creating from like stimulation to more like gamey arcadey is kind of what I'm feeling here. But that's just personal opinion there.
So,
hold on though. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please.
Well, I was gonna say,
no, we don't apologize.
My simple, I guess, question. Sorry, I'm looking the wrong way. My question to you is, I always think of like the information that we're getting streamed into our vision, our visor, is kind of in a similar way, like they always use like the Apache helicopter helmet, things like that, where you've got all this different stuff that's AR essentially. So I guess my question is, whoa, what did you do?
It's fine. It's just
you guys can't see. They can't see it. It's only you guys. Sorry.
But my question is like, for you, like, does that still feel arcadey when you have like this high end helmet on?
It depends on how it's like implemented. If it looks really good and part of the environment, as opposed to just like a standard like white crosshair that they kind of teased at CitizenCon, I think that's where they can make the difference. If they have, for each helmet manufacturer, like different styles, I think would actually kind of bring in the like believable like factor behind that. Or say I'm like wearing a pirate suit that is all patched up. If it doesn't have that dynamic crosshair, I think that makes actually perfect sense.
So to be fair, by the way, maybe they can coin the term dynamic for the crosshairs because they started developing it like 9 years ago. It just takes a very long time to roll it out, right? Right. So hold on, we did get the alphabetical order global list finally, right? Okay, all right. Sorry, go back.
All right. So if I'm, say an engineer or something like that, I don't necessarily need a dynamic crosshair for my gun because I'm not really going out and doing combat. You might get other benefits from wearing engineering gear or medical gear or whatever.
To say dynamic.
But this is something that we're obviously leaning into long term, and this is one of the first features.
I had to drink every time. Oh my god!
Suits.
Feature too. When they say feature,
scopes and recoil and stuff for Torsten and their teams like this. I do want to clear something up. I can see the chat right now. And even if I couldn't see the chat, I'd know what was happening. He said 8 to 9 weeks, and somebody's doing math from February 2nd. Is it February 2nd? February 2nd to try to figure out when Alpha 323 is. Don't do that to yourself. I'm just pulling numbers out of
It's because CIG doesn't like dates for anything. Just saying.
How many episodes that I have planned ahead and stuff like that. That's not any indication of when the package.
Kuzi was on it.
Don't do that.
Do you guys wait a minute?
Just enjoy life.
Do you guys actually watch, like, people in the chat? Do you guys actually watch the Star Citizen live? Because like I've tried to watch it many times at work, and I always end up like glossing off.
I get busy.
I literally only watched it for us to be able to do this, like to have highlights and stuff like that. But otherwise, I can never sit and watch this. It's like
so the reason why, like he said that, is because as 17 pointed out, they tend to get really burned when they do like committed dates. If they don't make that deadline, they get really hit on the forums with a lot of like negative feedback, right? So that's the whole reason why they don't even stick to dates anymore, because they're kind of concerned about that.
Well, I mean, they know not to, and I mean, so like one thing I'll definitely be fair about is that they're doing a lot of stuff that's just not being done, and the reason why it's taking so long, we all understand why it's taking so long. Can't be late if there's no date. That's right.
That's right.
But we do. I mean, to be fair, like we get what's happening. Like they really are developing something that's like. This is why it's doing so well, is because it's something that you just aren't seeing anywhere else. So it's difficult to deal with at times, but like I get it too. I freaking get it. So I don't want to be like a hater over it either, but sometimes I can't help it.
Okay, back to this.
Enjoy all of this that we're talking about, that we're shooting for Alpha 323, and don't spoil the experience for yourself by putting dates on things and trying to reverse information.
They're going on a rant about dates. We can switch over to this tab instead.
You got a bearing.
Look at.
So this is.
I'll take it.
Not on a pun.
Yeah, hang on. This
I
is
feel so
disgusting.
close to you right now.
Pretty much. That's every time I see that like thumbnail when Elder posted it, was just like, whoa, he's really
Rewind it just a little bit though.
The proximity.
Like do like 10 seconds, I think.
Compass and mini map is what they're discussing here.
We've got the compass that's going into, which is
which I think is
the compass. It's in the video. You can already see it.
Even ground VIX especially.
Everybody's looking forward to this. So
like I can tell what direction I'm going.
Yes.
Like no more which direction am I going?
He's so uncomfortable. He's so uncomfortable.
You got a bearing.
I'll take it.
Not on a planet.
It's like Elder every time I've tried to hug him.
Okay, good.
I end up with a blown up ship every time.
And then obviously one of the biggest ones is the mini map. And the mini map is amazing. It really is. And it links into what we're doing, which we can talk about in a little bit, with the star map on the Mobileglass 2, which is basically the area map. I'll make very clear now, we're not doing all locations.
Yes, I was just about to hit that.
With the mini map, because obviously there is a.
So this is going to be handy. I know it doesn't really affect PvP aside from maybe a couple of like locations. But I really like the idea of having the compass for ground VIX, and because then you can call out certain like positions in which like a certain heading or anything that a ship's coming in, you've got a railgun, you're ready, instead of saying, oh yeah, 2 degrees to the left of the sun or whatever, to try and like make certain call outs. That's what I'm saying. FPS Compass is like overdue though.
That's what they're working on though, right? That's coming.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just saying,
dude, there's so much coming out in this patch.
It's insane.
It's gonna suck when it gets released at first. It's gonna be so bad.
I mean, expect that. That's what it was like with 318. It's probably gonna be just as bad, maybe worse, because they were talking about
not worse.
I saw
worse.
No. I saw Xenothreat mentioned in the notes in Star Citizen Live.
Oh, what?
So we're going to see that again, I believe. But that being said, let's
move
on
on
to this again.
Space and areas to mark up.
Yes, I was going to say, let's talk about that. The minimap does not just exist in a vacuum.
Yep.
Every single location in the persistent universe has to be marked up in order to feed that information into the minimap. I'll go ahead and say, because I talked to John Crew about this just yesterday, the ship team is working diligently to get as many of the ships as possible marked up for 320.
Same with landings.
You can at least explore your ships. With the mini maps and stuff, and
so
then maybe a couple.
For the ships are going to have like a mini map as well,
and then that will just continue. Patch after patch after patch will just continue to mark up more and more locations.
So is Mike Gladdy going to have a mini map?
I
hope so.
Yeah, so it's going to be really easy to find your way around, like everywhere once it's done.
You're like, oh yeah, feeder down there.
Just going to view where you are, where you want to go, set a route on the seat, all that good stuff.
Okay. Should we lay it on him? I mean, we're right there. We're right there with the mini map.
I don't even know where you're going to go with this.
You don't know where we're going to go.
Oh yeah, no, okay. Now you've said that.
Should we lay it up?
Sure.
Say it.
Star map.
Star map.
New star map.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So big quality of life improvement from where we're at right now. And again, we're changing.
We're gonna end up with star map desync or something.
Of course, but just think about how many times we've been trying to navigate during the middle of a battle, getting over to a position, and you can't because the star map just either zooms in or zooms out too far, or just resets entirely. It's going to be great. But yeah, I really look forward to this
Star
one.
map
It's going to
is
be a
difficult
great
to use.
quality
It's
of
not
life
clear.
patch.
I wonder if the
you
star
know,
map
you
will
don't get enough
30K.
feedback. Like
Yeah,
some things
probably.
are broken. You know.
He said some things are broken.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, we've spent a lot of time on styling it, making it very clear, making it very easy to use, done a lot of testing ourselves of just playing around with it. We've added some new features to it too. So essentially a estimated travel time if you set a route somewhere, search functionality, which is all fairly basic to start with. We'll obviously come back more on that later, but or down the line. But essentially, you know, if I want to go to Hurston, I type in Hurston, it takes me to Hurston on the map. And I click set route, and then I go. Like it's just you.
I call BS.
I don't understand. Why can it be so easy? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and we're obviously very excited about it.
There is such a load of stuff that they're dropping on this patch. It's pretty. It is pretty crazy.
A lot of like tier 0 and tier 1 like initial implementations of what we're going to see long run.
Yeah, I think it's encouraging though that they were like, okay, feature complete and Squadron 42, we're going to start porting people over to work on the PU. And the fact that they're dropping this many features, that you can imagine, right? If Squadron 42 is feature complete, and these are all features from Squadron 42 as well, I'm sure it makes it a lot easier because they've already basically built them, right? For the most part, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah.
I do want to take a second and point out Flero has a very good point, because it makes me think of like the future to come is, Flero mentioned that, the stations in the cities 100% need a lot of these kinds of updates first for newer players. Dude, how many times, I know for me personally, how many times have you been told, hey, try this game, try this game, try this game. You finally go through and you get it. You spend 30 minutes playing it and you're like, man, it's either buggy or it's just not my thing. And then come to find out it's because you only try to play 1% of it because you didn't know what you were doing and you didn't have someone holding your hand. If you had a city that literally was like more intuitive and all these features coming in, I think that would help a lot. I know we're rid players and pirating and everything, but I still think that's a really cool and good idea.
Okay. I'm sorry. I kind of wanted to jump on that, but first I had to leave this comment.
I'll find you.
So
all right.
No, but I wanted to jump on that though. So
all right,
that
on TOS.
Yeah, right. They actually held that comment at first because it said kiss him on what? Anyway, so I was like, we can't. So I did want to jump on that though, because I bring it comes to mind is my first time trying to navigate through, I think it was like ArcCorp or something when I was brand new and like not understanding what was happening and realizing I had to use like signs in a game, signage, but I still didn't even know where I was actually going, and it took me hours to even find the spaceport, and I never actually found the hangar for my ship, right? And then I had to play again to find, you know what I mean? So it's just like that whole thing. I agree. The mini map would probably be very helpful. I'm sure they're going to use the main cities to start because they already have all that stuff worked in anyway. Like they just have to add it onto the mini map, I would think. Okay. Here you go.
Yep, that's fine.
I have so many traumas though, JJ. What am I going to do with all my traumas?
You have to find new ones. That's what you have to do. Create more.
We will.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then from the star map, let's just go way to the other end of technical stuff.
This is the next section
with a little thing we showcased by Sean Tracy and Andre at CitizenCon, the character creator. Character customizer
creation was
the character customizer
highlighted.
is super cool.
I don't know how much we want to
so along with all the
we could do like a quick like synopsis just because I think we're kind of cutting close to like our time. But
we have time?
Much what
new scans of characters.
Okay, we have time.
And
like
basically look
customization
people you're going to be able
have,
to,
like, pink hair
customize
and,
from.
You've
got basically two ways of customizing a character now, which is very exciting.
Right.
You've essentially got something that allows you to do a DNA blend, which is that's what we call it anyway. So you're basically taking your head on one side, which is what you currently have. There's basically a bank of heads on the other side that you can flick through and look, I like these particular features. And what you can do is you can select one, go, I like this person's nose. I can then go on my slider 0 to 100% and go, I want to go all the way to having their nose, and I want to go all the way to having mine, or I want to go somewhere in between.
I mean,
so
this
it
is all
blends
cool.
the two shapes together. And you can do that for the entire head. You can do it for ears, nose, eyes, brow, lips, all that sort of stuff. The second way of doing it, which is a very cool one, is I don't know what we ended up calling it, but essentially you
Can I
are
ask
grabbing
who's
anchor points
Todd
on
Pappy?
the face. So let's say
he's been a dev at CIG for a long time. Just look up the image really quick. You know exactly who it is once you see him.
I probably wouldn't.
But that's not confirmed yet. But
interesting.
Yeah, this is just going about like character customization and overall.
I mean, it's all cool stuff. I appreciate it, right? The biggest thing, though, honestly, is like things like the map, the mini map. I mean, those are a big deal. Obviously, master modes is a big deal because master modes affects the way you fly. But like the map and mini map is, I think, like huge, like very 100%. Huge, right? And it just, the only thing that really concerns me with that stuff is server reliability. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a well-built game, right? I'm sure if you are on a server of 5 people, in fact, we've been on those servers before, right? Where it's like there's like nobody in the server for some reason, and the server runs beautifully, and it's an amazing game, right? All the FPS functions.
Is that CIG doesn't have the infrastructure to handle it. That's the issue. Maybe once we see server meshing, they were talking about that being more or less. I'm not even going to talk about that. It's a conversation for another time. Don't need to go down that rabbit hole. But like takebacks from like 3.23 is, I feel we're going to have something a little bit more refreshing compared to what we have in 3.22, where it just feels like rehashed content over and over. We're actually going to have like new things to actually test out, and it'll feel like 3.21 when it first came out. Do you remember when everybody was like hot swapping turrets and there was like all these bugs that we had to kind of discover on our own? That was a fun time because there was a lot to kind of do on your own and just customize. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think part of what's going to make 3.23 more playable for like our community as well is the fact that the prices of things are going up.
Yes.
And with that, the prices going up, there's a reason for us to really play our gameplay loop, right? So
yeah,
I think that's a very big deal. Now I know that the next section of the video they talk about economy, but that's kind of like a snooze fest, honestly.
It really is
kind of boring.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
I think we'll see a lot more FPS and piracy. Maybe not a lot more, but we'll see at least a small increase with the FPS changes and, like you said, the economy.
I was going to say, with that being said, I think we're done with everything with SCL. If you want to check it out, I'll actually link it in the chat really quick for you guys, just so it's readily available in there for anybody to kind of check out on their own.
I agree with 7.
Although I 100% think you guys should always watch these only with us.
Only
with us.
You don't have to watch all the way through. You don't have to. We can phase out the boring stuff for you.
Yeah.
And then tell you, hey, this is what's really interesting. Tune into this,
just so you guys know also, like I know I got a blue and purple background or whatever the heck it is, or pink. That's because I was on my way to Grim Hex and I didn't make it there in time, so I had to like stop at an outpost. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's a blanket fort, okay? I have a blanket fort, all right? If I was 12 years old, I would have been so proud of myself. I got the most advanced blanket fort anybody could ask for, okay?
Elder,
so whatever.
I'm still proud of you. Good job. It looks really nice.
But no. So like in all seriousness though, like we would like to do more of these like reviewing. But we'll probably work on like refining the process, stuff like that. Like, so
yeah,
if it's boring to watch them, which it usually is, honestly, this is probably the most interesting episode because I literally just went straight through topics of what they're dropping. And usually it's not like that. Usually it's like, today we're going to meet the persistent entity streaming cigarette butt team. And they're going to talk about how they designed the cigarette butts that fall. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Actually, on that topic, actual drug use having like withdrawal symptoms and everything else, everybody that's using the orange med pens to get like better G tolerance should have some kind of like drawback in the long run. But that's a topic for a different time if they ever bring that up.
The way you started that, I thought you were like literally making a plug, like a serious comment, like, "Hey, do we have a link or like what's going on here?"
No, it would be amazing though if there was like some kind of like either addiction system or something of the sort. You know?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Your character gets the jitters if you have it.
It's like, and if you use it too often, you have to sweat it out on your couch.
There was so I was playing a game the other day where it's kind of like Tarkov, but it's with cowboys. And one of the status effects that this character had was called Cokehead. And when I was looking at the character, he was like shaking all over with his ADS, and that was part of the like game. Apparently, I don't know. It's beyond the like that's obviously off topic. But
wait, what's the name of it? What is it called? Cokehead?
Cokehead. No, the game is actually called The Twisted Path to Renown. I've been playing.
No. Would you say it was the effect was called?
It's called the status effect is called Cokehead, and it's just like
wow.
It's a character debuff essentially. But
I guess that's
I
pretty
don't
cool.
think he saw it that way.
Oh shit.
Anyways. Yeah.
I could just
open up the panel. I'm gonna open up the panel to any questions that like maybe chat has. I think this is a good time.
You know what he just did though?
With 3.23. What did I do?
No, I was just saying what he just did. You know, no. No, I did that. No, he just did that thing, you know, when you run into like somebody you know and you guys talk about the weather and then you're like, yeah, so
yeah. How's it going today? You know, living the dream.
Hey, what do you guys think? I'm throwing it out there. What do you guys think about having so what ship are you know what? Just forget what I was gonna ask. So what ship are you guys going to
multi-crew when Master Mode drops?
I'm thinking like medium fighter type multi-crews. Well, I am probably.
I would probably do like Corsair or something like. I only own so many multi-crew ships in the first place, but I think the Hurricane would be kind of cool to check out. Same with the what do you call it? What is the Aegis variant where it's a heavy fighter? The Vanguard. Vanguard would be really cool, I think, to check out.
Wait, aren't there medium multi-crew ships? Or am I that
Freelancer, right?
Is that it?
Connie's will be very strong too, I think, as well. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind flying a Connie. I do like the Connie series, actually, if I was going to fly like a bigger ship.
Connie Taurus, right?
No, Phoenix, bro.
Well, hold on. With this iteration...
I am not financially responsible, okay?
Yeah, I know. I can tell by the way you take care of your bunker back there. Whatever the hell it is. No, but I think I think that well, I mean, not I think, I'm sorry. So wait a minute. What I'm wondering is with master modes, you know how basically at some point you're not going to be able to like kill a hammerhead with like a light fighter. Is that going to come with this iteration of master modes? Or that's not quite yet. I guess that's not coming until Maelstrom, right?
Yeah, not until we have Maelstrom for like armor and everything else for that destructive environment.
I would assume that there's going to be a level of that, you know, a byproduct of introducing master modes that's going to make that a lot more difficult for sure.
So maybe like a bigger like full HP perhaps or something of that sort.
Well, just I'm thinking more of the agility aspect of it. Like even with the server performance of a hammerhead and PU, and you're dealing with the flight mode for master modes, whatever. I feel like, you know, if you're in an Arrow, a Gladius, a Hornet, or a Saber, or something like that, and you're trying to take on a Hammerhead, I feel like you're going to take on a lot more hits than you're used to.
Yeah, well, you're not going to be able to mess with the auto gimbal anymore, or whatever it is, the fixed assist, because so right now you're able to basically cheese it, and you just keep rolling out of it, right? But so I guess, as a byproduct, right? But you still will have the ability to do enough damage to actually take the ship out if you're able to get enough shots off.
Yeah, still most likely possible.
Yeah, where with like Maelstrom, I think you'll only be able to basically kill the turrets, but not actually kill the ship. Unless, which I 100% agree with that being a thing. You know,
I think, you know, I know we give it a lot of grief, but the Redeemer is going to be a force to be reckoned with in 3.23. Because if it's hull HP, and I know its handling is kind of garbage, but man,
I feel like it's a stalemate.
You think so?
I think so. I think it's gonna. I think it's going to be a scenario where it's like you better bring enough firepower and a couple of drinks because it's going to take a while.
Wait,
but I
hold
don't
on.
feel like it's going to be overly dangerous to try and engage either, like a hammerhead, obviously.
Wait a minute. So hold on. You won't be able to even take out the turrets in a hammerhead? How does that make sense? They're literally little pods with people in them. Like, you need to tell me that you won't be able to take out a turret?
Especially with precision targeting?
Like, so... Like, I agree.
I do recall a comment that he made about that, though.
But that doesn't make any damn sense. Like,
it doesn't make any sense. I think it's... They want you to disable certain components of the ship first.
But in Star Wars, they took out the whole Death Star with a little missile thing, and you can't do that.
And then we saw the new episodes, and we know how like consistent they are, so we're not going to go there.
It was a while back. No, pods. I don't know. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. The turrets. Our glass. Our cockpit glass is advanced ass clear metal.
Well, see, you can't argue with that.
Is it? Is that an actual lore thing? Is he just talking out his ass?
Contagion never talks out of his ass, ever.
The hammerhead turrets are little free-floating pods. They really are, aren't they, basically?
It is actually a lore thing. He's right.
That's a lore thing? It's advanced glass that you can see through? Well, shouldn't it just be like...
Here, hang on. Do you want me to grab the source really quick for you? Or
Uh-oh.
Sure. So, yeah, I believe him. I'm just saying I didn't know that.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'll do it after the episode, and then I'll like link that to you.
I mean, I think that's pretty cool. It makes sense, but still, like, so why would the turret be this advanced metal glass, but your light fighter can't be made out of that? Is it too heavy?
I don't know. That's
why is the whole ship not made that way then?
Yeah, duh. Like, it's the same
gameplay.
Composite.
Oh, okay.
As the rest of the ship see through. Imagine that you just make a whole glass ship.
Right, all you can see is the wiring and the tubing and everything. That's it.
glass ship.
Wait, I would hate to use the bathroom in that ship. Honestly, though, like disabling the turret should happen with how things. Yeah, I mean it should. I think that like being able to disable the turrets, that makes sense, but it's high risk if you're on a light fighter, right? But
that
like
kind of becomes the balance there, right?
But what is the purpose of having? Okay, if light fighters can't do anything against that, then what's the purpose of even having light fighters there in the battle at all? Why not? Why wouldn't it be just like two large ships? You know?
See that's the thing is, so the hammerhead is supposed to be the counter to light fighters. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only thing there. Let's say it's a big scale fight. You know, there's a Carrick or I don't know, God forbid, an Idris. But point is like there are light fighters in the mix, but their job isn't to just take on the hammerhead. Like it isn't 10 light fighters versus a hammerhead, and that's all that's out in space.
No, I know. What I'm imagining, bombers are made to take out the hammerhead. Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Oh, okay, all right. So that's where the balance is. I didn't think of that. So
it's supposed to be like a game of rock paper scissors, if you really think about it. There should be one that's more powerful than the next. Yeah, I'm sorry, Itachi. You were just gonna say the same thing, but
it was so slow on the rock paper scissors. You didn't say it fast enough. And light fighters are made to take out the bombers. Yeah, no, I get that, Contagia. That makes sense. I wasn't really thinking about the bombers. Yeah, I mean that's true. So there would be a purpose for basically everything. I mean, it needs to be like rock paper scissors, but I still don't agree with the idea of not being able to take out the turrets. Like I feel like if you're risky enough to get close enough to the turrets, you should be able to do some damage to them as well, right? I don't see why it would be like, nope, that's it, negate all damage. You know?
I do agree.
That seems weird. Like what about sub-targeting with missiles the turrets? Like missiles won't do anything either because you're on a light fighter, because that goes according to missile size, right? I mean, so I think like there's still potential. I think it's just if we're thinking of in pure terms of like laser repeaters, you probably can't or something.
I think it's just risk versus reward. I completely agree with you. I think if a light fighter is ballsy enough to get close enough and find an exploit where he notices other turrets or on his teammates or whatever to try and go in where his shield's already down or weak and take out that one turret and then try and get out before he gets blown up.
Yeah. And I like he's right too. Loading up 16 of the same size one missile, in one type of missile. It's like there's no real point in using anything other than EMs at this point, right? Basically, for the most part. Yeah.
Task force for life.
Yeah. So there's a hell of a lot So that's the thing. So I've been worried about like the whole master modes, but I'm not at the same time, because when I first started playing the game, like I wasn't just piloting, I enjoyed the game a lot. So I'm just hoping a lot of the other things comes together and like the game becomes more playable with like server meshing, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. All right. I think that's a good place to kind of wrap things up right there. If you guys are cool with that.
Love
Yeah.
you, Tech.
Yeah. Hey, dude. All right. So this is my show now. So I'm going to show you guys me killing people that I clipped. Don't worry about these guys. It's...
If you want to, you didn't tell me about that, so go for it. Do you actually
Nah,
have,
just
like, some footage?
I mean,
I'll
I
just
got
be here sleeping. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I just mentioned that in about roughly a week, we're planning to have some episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and just getting those kind of, put together. I'm really excited to actually have like some more platforms kind of expanded for, Griefers Pub. So if you're more of a podcast kind of person, we'll have some audio and video on there, a little bit more cut and trim, so it's a bit more, professional looking, because
100%. Yeah. Spotify, especially for people that are going to be, obviously driving to or from work. You didn't have a chance to obviously catch our beautiful faces on Twitch. But we're also going to be, on Twitter. Wow, I can't talk. Twitter, and we might even do some like TikTok shorts and stuff too. So make some maybe funnies or bloopers, or just be really in your face about, hey, we exist, that kind of thing. So
yeah, I mean, it's just really been a process, it's a lot of work. So we appreciate you guys hanging here. Go ahead.
First TikTok is going to be Itachi just eating potato chips slowly.
We should do that. Let's do that. Guys, go check out our TikToks that we... Wait, is that... What is that? Was that potato chips?
That was a potato chip that time, yes. But with that being said, let's go find someone to raid. If you guys have any recommendations, let us know. Otherwise, I think I have someone in mind. I did notice that I'm Delight was streaming, right?
You're getting super quiet again.
It was a kettle chip.
Was it a chip?
No, I'm thinking we go raid someone that is kind of in the same, like, category. Let's find someone that's doing a little bit of PvP. I did see that Heimdelight was doing some Siege of Orison, which means probably some FPS like griefing, which sounds like a blast to me. If you guys want to go check that out.
Yeah, I'm all for Heim. Heim's got some serious skill, and he is fun to watch.
He's a chill dude too. So let's.
He's a very chill guy.
Okay, all right, we'll go Heimdelight.
So I'm gonna start that. Raid is started. Right. So guys, stick around. Let's do a quick shout out to, just in case anybody doesn't get dragged along with that. Appreciate everybody showing up tonight. You guys take care and have a great week. We'll catch you next time.
Good night, guys.
See ya.